Welcome to the Winning in Business podcast. I'm your host, Kelli Risse, and I love talking to business professionals, leaders, and entrepreneurs who are winning in business. Are you ready to reach your next level of success? If so, join us on the Winning in Business podcast as I interview entrepreneurs, business professionals, and leaders who share how they've risen to success. Before we begin, go ahead, hit subscribe and the notification button so you'll be notified each time a new episode is released. Plug in and settle in. You're about to be inspired to rise up to your next level of success. Today, I'm going to be sharing 3 ways to reclaim time and enjoy life. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Kelli Risse. I'm an elite stress management and mindset coach who helps high-achieving professionals reduce stress, prioritize themselves, and get back time in their day without sacrificing success. I help my clients live well, enjoy life, and elevate success. The trifecta for us high achievers especially, to really be happy and fulfilled. So, let's talk about time today, the one thing we can never get back and always want more of. But the first question, how much time do you want back? Like, think about that. In a week, how much time do you want back? How much time would make a difference for you in your life if you could get back some time back? I know, the biggest thing I hear from my clients when we start working together is that they need at least 5 or more hours in each day. Like, they want 5 more hours in each day. And I'm sure some of you feel the same way. Maybe your number's a little bit different from that on one side or the other, but most of us would like a little more time in the day. If you had more hours in your day, what would you do with them? You spend it with your family, scale your business, get your to-do list accomplished, spend time doing what you love, maybe a hobby, a sport, more self-care. Would you spend time on your health, exercising, making healthier meals, going to bed earlier? Would you take vacations? I mean, the list is endless. And, my guess is that right now, instead of getting to do any of those things, you're being pulled in many different directions. You're continuing to add more and more tasks to your to-do list. You're running around putting out fires, and you're wondering when you're ever going to get caught up and have time to do what you really want to be doing. I mean, you're not alone. And with that, also, if you're like most of my clients, you're also probably living in low to medium chronic stress, which is then affecting other areas of your life. And so, we need to get to the bottom of this, right? And if I will say this, if you want to know how to better navigate stress, dive deeper into getting more hours back in your day, I hope you will join me next week for my free 3-day virtual event on how to handle stress and reclaim time before the holidays. Do we all need that? Do we all need more time during the month of December? Let's do that now so you can be prepared. So to join me, type event in the comments and I'll get you the short application to fill out to join. And the event is November 7th, 8th, and 9th. So that's next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I hope you can join me for that. All right, so let's look at some ways that you can get back hours into your day so that you can really enjoy more of what you love to do. So first thing I want you to think about is your calendar aligned with your top 5 priorities? Do you know your top 5 priorities? I'm assuming you do. So let's say they are family, faith, career, friends, health. Those are your top 5. If you opened your calendar right now and you looked at this week or even this month, a snapshot of it, are all of those in your calendar? Take an inventory. Then you need to cross off whatever's on your calendar that does not align with your top 5. If you're scheduling time with acquaintances, right? And you're like, oh, I'm going to meet with with some acquaintances, and yet you don't have time for family and great friends, like then you need to evaluate why. And is that a good use of your time? Most of my clients can find at least one thing on their calendar to delete in the next 24 hours that will free up time for them. And so looking at your calendar, what did you agree to say yes to that you shouldn't have, that is not aligned with your top 5 priorities? And then you need to do whatever you need to do to get out of that because it's not important to you right now. Number 2, did that sound harsh up there? I hope not, because we're really trying to gain back time, and this is how we have to do it. 2, identify your time wasters. We all have them. We all have time wasters. Are you going to unnecessary meetings that maybe you need to figure out if you really need to be there? Can you just get the notes on that? Is the meeting even necessary? Can you figure out a way to do it otherwise? Let's look at texting. Sometimes texting back and forth actually takes more time than a very quick phone call. Now, with that being said, sometimes emailing can also, right? It's just easier to pick up the phone. Mindless scrolling on a social media platform, right? We go in, we want to do something intentional, and then the next thing you know, we're scrolling mindlessly, time is going by, and we've wasted time. And then the other one is, are you playing any games on your phone? Are there any apps open that shouldn't be that are then distracting you? I've watched my clients get back 1 to 2 hours a week, sometimes even more, when they are aware of their time wasters, right? And then looking at those time wasters and going, are they in my top 5 priorities? Do these things fit for me? Do I need them in my life right now? Because remember, there might be a time that they were okay in your life, and there might time that you can bring them back into your life. But right now, if you need to get back time to do all the things that you thought about already, the whatever you put in the comments, then we got to get rid of some time wasters. And then the third thing is to consider what you're doing in your gap time. So that gap time is the time that we have between things, right? That 10 to 15 minutes when we're standing in line, we're waiting on hold, we're sitting at the doctor's office, we're sitting at a child's practice, right? We're driving. Clearly don't check emails and texts while you're driving, but that is a gap time, right? Like that could be a gap time for us. So what are you doing during your prime hours that can be moved to gap time, right? And so that could be making phone calls, listening to a podcast, reading an article. Maybe that's when you're checking social media, writing a grocery list. So think about, and for me, this goes back to not only business, but also life, right? So things in business and in life, what can you be doing? Do you need to send out thank you notes, Christmas cards, graduation, like whatever? Can you be doing that? Especially Christmas cards, y'all, we're going to need to be filling those out. So if you don't have someone doing that for you, that's something that you can do in your gap time. When you have just a little bit of time, fill out a couple cards, put them, you know what I mean? Just keep kind of plugging through them in that gap time instead of taking good prime real estate time to do it. Can you see how moving things to gap times could just create a little bit of open time for you? And the more time that you reclaim in your week, the more time you have to do what's important for you. And can we all agree that when we are doing what we love, when we can be surrounded by people we love, we are happier. Yes. And we can move through then that holiday season with more time to be doing what we love and to be present with those we love. Like it is amazing how much my clients' lives, relationships, their moods, their careers, like really everything improves when they can reclaim some time back into their day, into their week. And so, it may not always be like a big chunk of time on a certain day, although I would love to help you have the 4-day work week. But sometimes it's going to be just little bits of time here and there that will open more space. My client, Kristen, she's a successful business owner. And this is what she said. She said, Kelli helped me to be more focused on the things that are important to me in my personal life and business. That presupposes that before we started working together, and not focused on the things that were important. And the most amazing thing that resulted in my coaching with Kelli is that I'm now living out a reality that was a lifelong dream in my business. I had wanted to create an extension of my business for many, many years, but never allowed myself to move past the dreaming stage. When I got focused, when I let go of things not important to me anymore, I created that time. Not only did I create the time, I also added 40K to my business in 3 months, straight from the mouth of my client. So when you get back time and you free up some space, the possibilities are endless. Kristen wanted to add another stream of revenue to her business. Some of my clients want to be more present with their family. Some of my clients have put themselves on the back burner for so long that they're going to use that time to prioritize themselves. So, shout out to all my clients for getting back time and doing with them what they love. But what do you want to do with that? That's what you need to think. So how can you take these 3 steps and get back a couple hours, 1 to 3 hours into your week by simply prioritizing your values and making sure your calendar aligns, identifying your time wasters, and then the third one is using that gap time. These 3 simple strategies, so they will make a huge difference. Again, if you find this helpful, I want you to apply to join me for my 3-day virtual event on how to handle stress and reclaim time before the holidays, because we are going to dive even deeper into it. We are going to apply it to your life right there. This is not come just sit and learn. This is we're going to do it. And that is why it is 3 days long. So we can actually do some things and make them happen. And we're going to go even deeper into this so we can get back more hours. So all you have to do is put event in the comments and I will just send you a short application to fill out. I'm doing that because I want to make sure that the right people are in the room for this, because this is stuff that I truly share with my clients. So again, that event is November 7th, 8th, and 9th. It's next week from 2 to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. So go find some hours back in your day. Join me next week if you want to learn how to handle and navigate your stress before the holidays come. Can you imagine? I can tell you, being someone who used to be extremely stressed and going through the holidays like a crazy person, and now being able to go through it so much calmer and smoother, Lordy, is there a difference? Everything about the holidays is different and so much better, and I'm present and can actually remember what's going on with them, and it is a joy. I want that for you too. Thank you for being a part of the Winning in Business podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode and want to rise up to your next level of success, but are worried about increased stress, time for work and yourself and your family, not to mention being exhausted, I'd like to invite you to a complimentary strategy call where I'll show you how you can do it all. I'll help you reclaim time, keep your sanity, handle the chaos with ease, and move to the next level of success that you deserve and desire. I hope you found value in listening today. Please always leave your comments, feedback, or questions. We check them all. I want you to continue winning in business and reach your next level of success. See you next time.